said, hey, you, can I bomb a
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Small Town Big Gays, the show where we, the aforementioned big gays, talk about queer life from the small town perspective. I'm Chance.
I'm Travis.
How are you today?
Lovely. How are you?
Great. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything in the world is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. It's an interesting time to be alive, huh?
Like the lamest version of cyberpunk right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're living in.
I think the big issue we need to address is how extremely self-conscious I have become about the fact that I have a lisp.
You don't have a lisp.
Are you sure?
No, but
I'm thoroughly convinced I do.
I don't think you do.
But not that having a lisp is a bad thing. I'm just never have realized it before.
It's very rare that people just listen to recordings of themselves speak.
Yeah, it's a pretty awful experience.
I think I have a lisp.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I've noticed.
Well, I think we'll both just be in denial about whether or not we have a lisp.
Okay. Maybe it's just a gay lisp.
Yeah.
Well, for you, the bisexual lisp. I don't know if that's
Do you? Well, okay. So, gonna come back to gay voice in just a second, but have two things right up top. One, correction. I was incorrect. Scoliosis tests were a thing. You were not just getting diddled.
No.
I think you were getting diddled still, but I have my questions, but apparently scoliosis tests were indeed a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. And then two, just quick shout out to Joe from Michigan, who was messaging us on Instagram today and lives in a small conservative town and doesn't have many gay people. And we're your new gay friends from afar, Joe. So
hi, Joe.
Welcome to the small town big gays.
Joe.
Joel. Oh,
I like that name, Joe.
Joel?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good name.
It is. It's a nice, sturdy name.
What if we do the rest of the show in just the thickest Wisconsin accents we can possibly do?
Sure.
Yeah, because we're Wisconsin famous now. We were on WPR this morning.
We were.
As of recording, we'll put a link to the archived interview in the show notes. So if you want to go listen to that.
Yeah, finally, after all these years, I've hit it to the big time.
Finally hit mainstream.
Wisconsin Public Radio.
Mm-hmm. Statewide.
That's true. It is. It actually is really a cool thing for how new we are too.
Yeah. I was very surprised they wanted to interview us, especially with the subjects that we talk about. But I think that was part of the allure.
Yeah.
It seemed during the interview.
Or maybe they just want us to know, like, put us out there more so then they know who to kill first.
Yeah. True.
So that's okay.
Speaking of, this is the energy we're taking into the next 4 years.
Homosexual tendencies.
Okay. We're getting scary. We're getting punk.
Okay.
We're arming ourselves.
We are.
With just finger guns.
It's just finger guns.
Yeah.
So I have a random thing I just want to talk about before I get into the real subject at hand today. What are your opinions on glory holes?
Positive. I've never used one personally. Not that I'm opposed to. It's just, I don't know of any established ones, and they're the temporary ones that people put up in your home or not. Not in your home. Have you ever put up a glory hole in your home?
Not for random strangers. For other reasons.
What?
It's a very long story.
Okay, I can't wait to get to it.
Well, the reason I ask is because it has been discovered that my neighbor is the glory hole master, and I love that for him.
Yeah. Doesn't he don't you see it on Sniffies or
well, he is on the grinders. He could be on. I've never been on Sniffies yet, so he could be on there as well. But yeah, he's always I mean, I know what house it is now because I've done
partaken.
No, because I would, but the allure of knowing who he is takes away from the excitement.
Yeah, that's
of a glory hole.
Half the fun.
Yeah, so doing my own drag investigations on him. This summer I hooked up with a gentleman off of the Grindr app, and he goes, "Oh, I thought you were going to be the glory hole house." And then I was like, no, unfortunately, but if you want to, we can. I was like, oh, which one is it? And then he pointed and I was like, okay. So then I kept my eye on it from that point on and have been watching the men come in and out of there. And my friend didn't believe me, who was staying with me. I think it was this past summer. She came home from a walk late at night and someone was getting dropped off at the glory hole. And then we sat outside to watch them leave in shame. Yeah.
Did you wave?
No, we just stared.
Toodaloo, hello, have a good night.
Yeah. It is also like a little bit more uncomfortable because, well, I guess I don't know if I should be exposing this, but whatever. The gentleman who runs the glory hole definitely has a girlfriend or wife.
Maybe she's in on it.
Maybe she is.
You know?
I don't know. Because of the glory hole being so close to my home, a lot of people, when they come to have their encounters here, will say, I thought you were going to be at the glory hole house now, which is a whole thing. And then I love it. So then I'm like, well, is he good? I want to know more. Like, what does he like to do? And apparently it's a great time. So if you're looking.
I mean, practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I think there should be more glory holes.
I think there should too. The
only thing that makes me a little weird about it in this town in particular is just because we are so small. I would feel weird doing it to someone that you potentially know, and the chances are very high.
Yeah. Yeah, I know from experience that they're pretty high.
Yeah.
I've never done a glory. I don't have a way to set up a glory hole in my home, nor do I.
Everyone does.
I mean, everyone does, but I have 3 cats that just fucking run around and terrorize things. So it's like.
You can lock them in a room.
Sure. But I do, I don't do glory holes, but I do like fun anonymous encounters, blindfold hood, that kind of thing.
A dark room.
And
you with your hole spread.
Yep. Just sunning it.
Gaping.
It's
huge.
Gaping, fist-sized hole in my ass.
Love that.
No, as we have established, I'm not into that yet. Anyway, give me another 10 years. We'll see what happens.
Time
is it's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've accidentally fucked someone I know.
Okay.
Someone we know.
Oh, will you tell me off camera?
I'll tell you off camera, maybe.
Okay. I love that.
But yeah, I was had an encounter, had some fun, and then it was good. So I did the naughty thing, and I peeked out the window as he left, and I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, you have to do that.
Pretty sure I know who that is. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever done anything anonymous. I'm trying to think because I feel like that would be the more shocking thing is that I haven't.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, I've done not knowing anything about them other than what they look like, and not that I need any more details. Yeah. But
I don't need your name. I don't need your.
I don't care.
I don't need anything. I don't need your fucking life story.
True. Yeah. I don't know. Glory holes are intriguing.
Glory holes are intriguing.
I love it. I think it's great. I think we need more of them in this town.
I just wish we were a big enough city that there were established glory holes. Because I mean, there's some established cruising spots.
Have you ever cruised?
No, I do not partake. It's not my thing. I can't get into see, I say I can't get into the public stuff, but then I go to tank night in Minneapolis sometimes. So, maybe it is, but public stuff is not.
Yeah.
It can't get into it. Too nervous.
I love it.
Have you ever cruised?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I cruised once back in the day, before I was out in the community. Just because that was your only option, really.
Yeah. What was it like? What did you do? Did you tap your foot? Was it understall?
No, it was a very common cruising outdoor space near our area. And I went, and there was just one older gentleman there. And we knew what was happening, and we went for a walk down a trail, and I, pleasured him with my hand, not with anything else, and because I just felt obligated, because it was well, we're there, let's just get it over with.
Just kind of a disinterested hand job.
Yeah, It wasn't anything spectacular. He got what he needed, and then I left.
Yeah.
But I have gone back to that cruising spot with a person I knew because we just needed a
place,
a common area that was in between where we both lived to just do something. And I've done that, but I have done lots of outdoor stuff. only out of respect for my previous roommate of not wanting to be doing stuff in the home that we shared.
Wasn't there a story about you fucking on a park bench?
Yeah.
Did we tell that on the pod, or was that? Yeah, that was an early episode.
I think we did.
I think we did.
There's plenty of stories of me.
Also, what is this I hear about you loving the fucking cemeteries? Is that true, or is that a rumor?
Okay. It's not that I love to. So there is a cemetery in our town that is on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I shouldn't even reveal this, but whatever. My grandma is buried there.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful cemetery. And there is a point in it where there's like a picnic table that overlooks a very beautiful view.
Mm.
It might not anymore. I haven't had to go there since now I live in my own home, but where you could see anyone, including police officers, coming in at night. So if you needed to stop doing your act, you would not get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was honestly would be really hard for people to see you. And it wasn't in the cemetery. It was on the edge of the cemetery.
Okay.
So it wasn't like we were in the middle of like headstones, but I mean, you were looking at headstones.
Pretty hot.
My grandma's headstone was not far away.
So do you think she was judging you, or?
I would like to think that she would have said, I'm proud of you for being exactly who you are. And based on some of the gentlemen, probably would be even more proud of me.
Good.
That was one of my experiences with one of my largest gentleman friends. Was scary large.
Scary large?
Yeah. It was fun to look at, but
Yeah.
that was really about it, honestly.
I mean, once you get to a point, there's like diminishing returns as far as size. 'Cause once it gets to a certain point, it's just like, I can't put that in anywhere.
Yeah. That's how it was. I tried. It was fun, but it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I did have this one time, this gentleman that I engaged in adult activities in this particular cemetery with. He was like pretty drunk and just kind of annoying, and like we did our thing, and he was just really annoying. And this, mind you, it was like early fall, so it was like chilly enough where you needed like a light jacket, but not like cold where like you were gonna freeze. Like people were definitely outside, like hoodie weather, you know, like you can still be outside comfortably. Well, we did our thing, and then he was just annoying me, and I was just like, I don't want to, like, I'm not giving you a ride home. I'm not Uber. And so I just left him in the cemetery. And then, like, as I was driving away, I heard him yell, "You fucking bitch, my coat's in the car." And so then I circled back around, rolled the window down, threw his coat at him, and then drove off again.
Incredible.
Yeah. I just didn't want to drive him home. He was annoying me.
That's fair.
And, I mean, he probably had a phone, or if he didn't, that's his own problem for being out without a phone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just abandoned in a cemetery, and
it's not like it was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's in the middle of town.
No,
so.
It's out in the middle of nowhere.
No, I'm not that evil. It's not like he was like 20 miles stranded in a cemetery with like no way to get home. I mean, it was easily walkable to busy streets where he could find. Yeah, he was fine.
Hey Siri, what's the statute of limitations on cemetery fucking? I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I could look at it.
Can I get arrested still?
I don't think so. There's no evidence. I mean, you did just confess, but you know, eyewitness testimony. Yeah.
Allegedly, I did these things.
Yeah. Alleged. All stories that take place on small town big gays are alleged.
Alleged. Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
True. God, what if you can get arrested for that?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you can if they catch you.
They have to catch you in the act, but you know, they got bigger things to worry about than listening to our podcast and arresting you for
They don't in this town now. So what I wanted to talk about is I totally just forgot.
You forgot it again?
Yep.
Let's talk about gay voice.
Okay.
Why do you think gay people talk like that? Quote unquote talk like that?
I feel like it is a thing, but I think it's like just person to person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I know plenty of queer people who don't
talk with gay voice.
Gay voice or like effeminate voices, but also I feel like those are the people who really feel the need to validate their masculinity as a queer person.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have thought a lot about this more recently of like, I do have a friend in particular who I don't want to say like it annoyed me because that's a really like a strong word for what it was, but just like is very effeminate sounding, but like 100% them, and just like doesn't care where they are, who's around, whatever, just is like gay all the time.
Like doesn't code switch?
Yeah, like just is loud and queer and just like unapologetically themselves. And I would say, like, while I was dealing with my own internal homophobia stuff, that it used to be like, girl, can't you like just take it down a little bit? Like, we're in the sportsman's club and there's guns everywhere. Like, we don't need to be like
drawing
screaming.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I love it. And I think it's like kind of inspiring, to be honest. I think when you learn to just like be unapologetically yourself, things are great. And not saying that like to be unapologetically queer, you have to be a loud, flaming homosexual.
Yeah.
But I think for some people that's very real and who they are. And I think some people hide that because of embarrassment or shame.
Or internalized homophobia.
Yeah. Which I think is running rampant in the community.
What makes you say that, though?
I think when you see, like, especially on the apps, like you see, I feel like there's a very distinct line of like people who are looking for mask only or femme only.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like there's a blurred line of people, and it's very like cut and dry. And it's like the people who want mask want like really mask, and the people who want femme want like complete femme.
There's people on the apps that are like straight up on their profile, like be hairless and younger than 25.
Yeah.
Like, girl.
Yeah.
You're having sex with dudes. Don't be afraid. Not always having sex with dudes, I suppose. But, you know, predominantly it's an app for dudes having sex with dudes.
Yeah.
There's going to be hair somewhere.
Well, that brings me to a point of, I actually one time got into a pretty, I don't want to say fight because it wasn't a physical altercation, but a fight at the bar once with a gentleman that I went to high school with because he had made a Facebook status. This was probably at least 10 years ago now, but had made a Facebook status saying that he didn't think trans people or like non-binary people or like femme presenting people should be on Grindr specifically at that time, because I don't think there was a lot of other apps, but shouldn't be on because that is for gay males. And I called his rear out on it on Facebook. And then he decided to then approach me while I was in drag at the bar, which first mistake. Second mistake is just approach me.
I'm going to go pick a fight with this 7-foot tall man dressed as a woman.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
This is a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Yeah. And like tried to fight me on it. But like the best part is like I literally had 2 friends with me that are trans. And then like multiple people around me who obviously support drag and femininity. And he really thought he was going to like do something and like prove his point. Well, then all claws were out and I just went at him and put him in his place and let his little rear know that he wouldn't even be in this establishment if it wasn't for trans people. And not just trans women, trans men as well are very involved in the queer liberation of the, 60s and 70s. So he wouldn't even have the stuff he has if it wasn't for his trans brothers and sisters.
That's true.
And I like to really I can't say that word.
Reiterate?
There you go. That people know that it's not only because I think a lot of times like Marsha P. Johnson and other trans women get a lot of the credit for the revolution, especially at Stonewall and stuff, but it was very much trans men as well. And in fact, maybe even more. So I just want to make sure that they get the flowers that they deserve, because a lot of times they're left out in our community, which we can talk about more. But yeah, so he really thought he was something. And then the best part is then he realized very quickly he was losing the battle. And then, what do people do when they start getting backed into a corner by a giant 7-foot Chihuahua drag queen? They just come up with like the most crazy things they can. And you'll have to blur one part of this, but he said, "You were so awful in high school. I remember you were the first person that called me a fag." And I said, "Well, you are, and you still are one." And I stand behind that. And you know what? He knows exactly who he is, and you still are a fag. Because you're awful.
Yeah, fuck you.
He did eventually, actually within the last few years, apologize, but it was very half-assed. And I was like, I said to him, thank you for your words, but actions speak louder than words to me. And I'll just be watching what you're doing and see where you are. And I'll just say life hasn't been kind to him. So, do
I know this person?
You might know him.
Maybe.
If you knew him, the only reason you know him is because he's a drunk. And you've probably seen him at some establishment. He's the one that got arrested for killing the dog.
Killing the dog.
Yeah.
I called him, I called him manic pixie dream twink. Because one time I was at the bar and now we're just going to talk shit about this person, but he's in prison, so fuck him. He killed a dog. Right. I might not even bleep his name. Fuck that guy. It's public record. But one time I was at the bar and we were giving away a scooter, like an electric scooter for an event. And he was there for some reason, like having a manic episode or something. He felt the need to like write a little note and then tie it with a ribbon to the empty box of this electric scooter we were giving away. And then when we gave away the electric scooter, I was getting like the box ready. And I remember, this fucking note is tied with ribbon that he pulled out of his little bag. 'Cause he's a manic pixie dream twink. Like, fucking Bridge to Terabithia shit. I opened the note and it was just nonsense. It was just methed out nonsense.
Probably lots of meth and lots of mental health issues, which is a real thing.
That's
and very sad. And
oftentimes addiction and mental health issues
go together like birds of a feather.
Yep.
So, wish him well. But
he killed the dog.
In the words of pop revolutionist and icon Jojo Siwa, karma's a bitch. You should have known better.
Jojo Siwa. Whatever happened to her? She kind of went quiet for a little bit.
Well, she I don't think she ever goes quiet. She is the CEO of queer pop. She invented it.
She invented it.
She is the only one doing it. Fuck Kim Petras.
Fuck Kim Petras.
I mean, fuck so many people, but
literally every pop.
Kim, I don't know.
Like most pop artists.
Yeah. But I mean, Kim Petras is just my personal queen. So
yeah, I'm a bad girl now.
That song was funny, and I performed it once. It was pretty silly, but I actually performed it. I don't know, in tribute. We'll say, yeah, that's probably the best words, to someone who actually, I don't want to say who it was because I don't want to bring that back up, but it was someone who I felt directly insulted and attacked the trans community. And it was in an establishment that I felt was not supporting our trans community in town. And so me being the non-silent, very loud person I am, decided to get on the microphone before the performance and tell that bar that we will not stand for that, and said a few things about some of the bartenders, and then performed the song. And yeah, I also donated my tips to the trans hotline.
Hell yeah.
So
when was this?
I believe it was this summer. It was recent. It was not too terribly long ago. I gotta stand behind my trans friends.
Gotta stand behind the trans friends, especially
now. I mean, not especially now. I mean, they've always, unfortunately, just have been
the scapegoats.
Yeah. And it's just really, honestly, exhausting. And I can only imagine how exhausted they are.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, if you have a trans person in your life, make sure you let them know that you love them and support them. It's very important right now. And a queer person too, but
yeah,
especially our trans brothers and sisters.
Speaking of, I mean, personally, I love not talking too much about like politics and stuff on the podcast. I'd like to treat this as an escape and stuff, but I feel like we would be remiss in our duties as queer icons, even to.
So you're putting yourself up there now?
Well, we were on WPR, so yeah, it's a statewide program. I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about it and how weird and sucky everything is right now. So just briefly, I mean, do you have anything you want to say to the audience about it?
No.
Okay. Well,
I don't really have a lot to say usually.
Yeah.
Okay. So I own a business and it is very queer friendly and honestly, mostly queer identifying employees. But I mean, I'll be honest, we have clients who come in from all walks of life and all different political backgrounds. Generally like to stay away from politics. Just because even though I know people who are coming into our queer-owned, queer-ran space know where we stand politically, there may be people that are in my chair that support me but may not see eye to eye with me politically. And that's okay. I don't have to agree with everyone. And where I do draw the line is when I feel like people are not respecting other human lives above money and financials. As someone who owns a business, I understand how important finances are, but I would never put my financial freedom above someone else's rights. So I don't like to necessarily always talk about it because I don't think I need to, because my actions speak louder than my words. And I think sometimes people like to just speak their words and put no actions behind what they say. And I think that's a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of people in our community. And I would just like to see more people doing things instead of talking about things. Them. That was really long-winded.
That's okay. It's important. I asked for a reason.
Yeah. So I don't know if I really answered your question on that, but the moral of the story is yes, we are in some unprecedented times where a lot of people's rights are up for grabs, and that's a scary place to be. I think we take for granted a lot of our rights, and like people don't think like, oh, that couldn't happen. But as history tells, it repeats itself, and it very easily could, and it kind of is a little bit. There's already steps and directions to not only the LGBTQIA plus community, but women and minorities. And that's a scary place to be. What's even scarier is people's ignorance to it. And if people don't step up to do something, because queer people have always been a marginalized group to fight. I think in recent years, people haven't had to as much. It's been easy to just kind of be reliant, and we're going to have to fight again.
Yeah. I do think that the younger queers did get a little complacent, and they're going to learn real quick. I think we're all going to learn real quick. I mean, even we have not had to deal with the same shit that they did in the 80s and the 90s when, AIDS was running rampant and all that. And we are staring down the barrel of, RFK Jr. wants to get rid of PrEP and all this stuff, and you see some baby gays online being like, well, why do you need PrEP? And, just don't fuck around and, be monogamous and blah, 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 blah. And they're just looking all of the dead gay people and queer people and, trans people. They're just looking at them and being like, it was your fault that you died of a genocide that was perpetrated by the U.S. government against queer people, in that they just ignored the AIDS crisis. And they're like, well, why should you need PrEP? We damn near eradicated like people dying of HIV and AIDS. Like, we have drugs that can make you positive but undetectable, and PrEP, which is like this miracle drug that lowers your chances of catching this terrible disease that like killed so many in our community, and these kids just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
They don't. So they're going to learn real quick, especially the younger queer people who voted for Donald Trump because the economy or whatever the fucking excuse is. They're going to learn real fast when the leopards eat their face. What I want to say about it is I said the same thing at a drag show that we had right after the election was over. Like, it's a scary time. We live in a scary time. It's okay to be scared. Like, I'm scared. Fucking terrified, in fact. But it's okay to be scared. It's not okay to be a coward, because the queer people who came before us, who got us to where we are right now, they did not face greater odds, worse violence, and fought and won the rights that we have now as queer people in America. They did not fight and die for those things just for us to tuck our tails and scamper back into the closet now. Like, now's the time to lean on community, focus on local, like what you can do in your community to help you and your people. And we, fight. Just resist.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can do.
I want you to know I wasn't scared until you said that there's leopards in this country. I didn't know we had leopards.
They're everywhere.
So now I am a little scared.
We could do an episode on cryptids sometime because there is like big cats in Wisconsin, maybe.
Oh my.
Maybe.
Okay.
Beast of Bray Road? No? Okay.
I don't live on Bray Road.
You don't live on Bray Road.
Two things that I want to go off of what you said is I think it's great that in many ways that this younger generation hasn't had to worry about those things because that's why we fought for everything we have. So they don't even have to think about it. So I can't blame them for that because that's just what has been given to them. And that's wonderful because that's what we fought for.
That's fair.
So we can't blame them, call them lazy. We can't attack them for that.
And I'm not trying to at all.
I don't think you were, but I'm just saying like I think many people do because it's easy to do that. And I don't want to become a bitter old
queen.
And I have like a lot of hope in our future, actually. Just like the great Whitney Houston said, children are our future, teach them well and let them lead the way.
Right. I say fuck them kids.
I mean, I do too sometimes, but I also think that they are a very intelligent generation and a very passionate generation. And when they find something that they are passionate about, whether it be something as dumb as a viral TikTok video, they give their all to it. So
that's true.
I have plenty of hope that once they get behind something, they're going to fight for it. And so let's just hope for the best. That's all we can do. Yeah. We can hope for the best, but you can't just sit around and hope. You have to put actions behind your hope. So
and I think that's my thing is it's not that I don't have hope and that I don't believe in the younger generation of queers and their ability to fight for stuff. Fight for our fight for our fucking right to exist. Mm-hmm. But that activism needs to extend past the internet.
Yeah.
And now's the time to fucking go to your local drag show. And now's the time to go to your town's pride event, whether you're in fucking Eau Claire, Wisconsin or a big city. Like now is the time to turn out. Joy is an act of resistance. Mm-hmm. The people who want us dead want us to be afraid to be ourselves and be openly queer in public. And now is the time to do the opposite of that. Yeah, it's terrifying, especially in America when you never know when someone has a fucking gun and is going to shoot a bunch of people they don't like. Not that that's going to happen at your, local drag show or your local pride event, but like it's terrifying to go and do that, especially in this climate. But now's the time to do it because to not do it is to let them win and let them make us afraid to be out and proud and public.
Word.
So long story short, lean on community. Activism needs to extend past the internet. Be gay. Don't do crimes, but sometimes do crimes. Depends on the crime.
So what do you do in your community to bring awareness and betterment to this place and these things successfully? Go.
Quickly. Oh, are you calling me out?
No.
Do I not do enough for this community?
No, I think you do, and that's why I want you to talk about it.
What do I do?
Because I think some people, honestly, genuinely,
you're doing great today.
Don't know how to get involved in what they can do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's about just creating fun events. Sometimes it's about doing serious things. So I think it would be great for people to hear about the different things that we're doing in the community.
Yeah. This is one of those things where I extol the virtues of taking your activism out into the community, and then I sit here and I try to think, do I actually do anything for the community? And then I'm like, wait, I guess I do. I'm in the...
Well, listeners will find out now.
I guess so. I feel so judged. I'm gonna kill myself.
That could be your first act of something for the community.
Selfish, become a martyr.
There's plenty you do. Just think about it.
There's plenty I do. I am one of the people who just throws fun events and like visibly queer shit. Like we did Chapel Roan Sapphic Night for the lesbians. We do just gay events. We throw drag shows. I get involved with our local LGBTQ community center. When they need volunteers for something like Queer Prom, which is a really cool event that they do for queer youth in the community who, maybe don't feel safe going to regular prom, like high school sponsored prom. I don't want to say normal people prom because that, induces the othering, but stuff like that. And then, turning out for our pride events that take place in the community and just being queer and being open and being unapologetic is activism in and of itself.
Yeah, I think you're forgetting probably one of the most important things you've done for the community. Your gaping
Suck
hole.
Dick. Yeah. Okay.
No. The fact that you took a predominantly masculine presenting space and have made it I would say, premier safe space for queer people.
That is true.
To go not only as a space that is how it makes its bread and butter is through alcohol, which is kind of like trying to think of the right word here. Like a thing that I think is a hardship in our community of a lot of times our social gatherings are in places of alcohol and things like that. But you guys have truly made it a space where there's a large non-alcoholic menu, where people can come and gather and not feel like they have to only have alcohol, and that they can truly be themselves. And I have seen tremendously a large amount of elder queers who don't always feel safe coming to other places, coming out and enjoying themselves, and a whole also new generation of queer people who don't feel safe going to other places, coming out and kind of bridging that gap.
Yeah.
So it's more than just putting on drag shows and fun Chapel Rowan nights. Like, you guys have really done a great job of creating a community that has been lacking in years past.
Yeah.
So you should be more proud of the things you do. And that's why I wanted you to talk about them, because you do a lot of great things that you don't.
It's very sweet.
Think about. Yeah, it's the last time I'm ever going to be sweet to you, though. So
thank God. I don't know how to react to that.
How's the no smoking going?
Great.
Good. I'm proud of you.
So far. I actually had a dream that I bought a vape last night and was hitting it. And then I was like, I can't do this. Like, I got to put this vape in a bag and forget about it. And then I woke up this morning being like, did I actually buy a vape? So.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
It's really hard, and I know how great you're doing. I'm really, really proud of you for doing that.
I appreciate that.
It's really awesome. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. It's not going to work. I'm going ice fishing this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. I've decided this 2025 might be the year of retaking traditionally like straight people activities. Ice fishing, trap shooting, some other third thing that I'll think of later. But I'm going ice fishing this weekend, and I know one of my friends that I'm going with is going to have a pack of cigarettes, and he's going to buy 2 packs of cigarettes because he's going to assume that we are going to chain smoke all weekend, and I am not going to have a single cigarette.
Does it count if you smoke one with your butt?
No.
So there you go. Maybe
there's an option.
Maybe I figured out the solution.
You've seen Tangent. Shocker. You've seen Pink Flamingos, right?
Of course. Yep.
You remember the singing butthole guy?
I know exactly what you were talking about before you even mentioned the movie.
Yeah. John Waters.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. What a queer icon.
National treasure.
Yeah.
Even.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the inherent differences between the mask for mask and the femme mask for femme. I don't know what you would call it, but this is such a weird subject and such a touchy subject, because I understand preferences, I understand desires. I just I don't understand like the such closed offness of it sometimes. Like, if someone was inherently like mask unquote presenting but then had like a feminine voice, would that really like, but I think it does, like, people wouldn't want to be with that person because of it,
because they're too femme.
Yeah,
I think
that's so bizarre to me.
Well, my question is like, how much I would love to see a statistic of this impossible thing to get a statistic of like how much of it is just internalized homophobia and how much of it is like just preferences. Because I really think it is 90% internalized homophobia, that they close themselves off so much of like, I only want a femme a femme person.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone masked, and that's just like, you just want to be straight so bad, but you can't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very interesting subject.
Yeah.
We should start doing surveys.
We should do surveys.
We could just go door to door.
Excuse me, are you a homosexual?
No? Okay, and then just leave. And we should like put like a sticker on their door to make them really nervous, like thinking something's happening.
Oh, we should do spray paint a big red X, like the or a big slash in red, like the Lamb's Blood Bible story minister kid. What is that? The Passover, right?
Well, I was just like thinking of things we could do to not actually cause damage to someone.
I say cause damage. Be gay, do crimes.
Okay, well, you just said maybe not do that earlier, so I need you
I
to
said
pick a lane.
Depends on the crimes.
Well,
And
that
I
one
think spray painting people's doors with a red X to make them nervous could be kind of fun.
Is a horrible idea. But
Don't
maybe
do
putting
this.
like a red dot of duct tape on their door
Mm-hmm.
and then just walking away could be hilarious.
Where this is a great way to get the cops called on us because we're marking people for death.
We're not marking them for death.
They don't know that.
And then we tell the cops we're not. And they'd be like, for what? And then we just say, I don't know.
It was just a sticker.
I feel like we need a lawyer.
We
should have a guest lawyer so we can find out what we can get away with.
smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. If you are a Legibaqua lawyer, preferably.
Yeah.
And
I haven't
talk
passed
to
the bar
us.
yet, so I don't know everything yet.
Yeah, you're not flexible
It'll
enough.
just be probably about another year, and then I'll be able to take the bar. And then I'll be able to give us our own legal advice.
You said you weren't flexible enough, like it's a limbo bar.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of funny.
yeah.
I'll just go fuck myself. It's fine.
I wasn't listening. I'm sure it was really
I gotta go.
a knee slapper.
I gotta go.
And I'm sure anyone who watches this would know that the irony of you saying I'm flexible in any way is, yeah, you might be. I'm certainly not.
I bet you could surprise people. I saw that video of you putting your leg up on the railing at the drag show this Saturday.
The 4 foot tall railing.
The 4 foot tall
That's
railing.
literally comes up to my waist
Yeah.
anyways. So
And then you
really,
lost your shoe. And
I mean, people think it's impressive because I'm doing something, but it's really not. Although I do like to at another establishment that I perform at. Their bar is actually pretty high, and I do love to throw my leg up on that one.
Mm.
I have a couple of signature moves, and that's really about it. And they're really sad and pathetic. But
throwing your leg up on something and
throwing my leg up on something and then bending over and touching my ankle.
yeah, you do that a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
that's my
Chloe
two
Wold
things.
classic, really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's not a lot I can do, but what I can do, I do it.
You do it well.
Yeah. I'll get there. Just wait till the end of this year. I'll be flexible.
Super flexible.
Yeah.
You should start stretching. I should start fucking stretching.
Yeah. I
I-
have done some.
I really want to be able to do the splits.
Yeah. I think it's cool, but also I feel like controversial opinion for you. A lot of drag performers rely on stunts. And it's just like, yes, they're cool, but after a while they just become the same thing as touching your leg.
Yeah.
You know, it really takes a special way when you do it all the time.
Once you flop on the floor enough.
You flopped on the floor
You
enough.
flopped on the floor.
Now, if you never flop on the floor and you give it to them one time, then they love it.
They're going to lose their fucking minds.
Yeah. And if all you do is walk around in a circle and harass people, and then you turn around and bend over and grab your ankle once,
They fucking
They
love
love
it.
and that's doing the bare minimum. Mediocrity. Oh my God.
Mediocrity?
Mediocrity? Is that a word?
No.
No?
It is now.
Mediocre? Is that just how you say it?
Mediocrity.
Mediocrity?
Yeah.
Okay. Mediocrity. Wow, this
Good
is a
enough.
struggle
You're
bus
doing
word.
so good.
Hooked on phonics is not working yet.
working on, yeah. That's Felicia's favorite line during trivia.
Hooked on phonics isn't working?
Yeah.
Okay, edit that out. We have a large drag show coming up in town soon,
Mm-hmm.
and the theme is freedom.
2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, probably
3 to 4
4
weeks.
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks. And the theme is freedom. And I really have a great outfit I'm working on coming out in for opening the shows. And I just had a person is working on one of the things that I'm really excited about that I think could maybe be a merch potential, but only the people who like me will get it and think it's funny. So maybe it's not. I don't know. But I think it's great and I'm excited for it.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fireball, I have to figure out what my looks are.
Yeah. Do you guys have themes?
Yeah, we like to dress up so that we're talking about Fireball, which is a 2-day drag show event here at University of Wisconsin Eau Claire. And so 2 nights. So one night we got a table and we always, we do a theme night. So one night we're doing Club Kids. And then the other night, I think we're just doing homosexual. But I got to figure out what I'm doing for the Club Kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool things you could do. Yeah. Have you ever seen my Club Kid look I did?
I don't think so.
I did like a spin on like Amanda Lepore where I just like made it look like I had hacked up. Not that Amanda Lepore looks like this, but like the extreme plastic surgeries, but also like hacked up extreme plastic surgeries.
Cool.
And I just went out and basically wrapped up gauze with a lot of my body showing. It was a lot. And a lot of blood and big fake lips, even bigger than the ones I have.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was fun. I'll show you a picture sometime.
Hey, it's Amanda Lepore.
Yeah. She's now the cover model for One Size Beauty.
Oh, shit.
Which is great. I love that. They're bringing exposure to icons of the queer community.
Do you know no one knows how old she is?
She's got to be somewhere. I would say she's probably, she was around the Club Kid era. So that was like 80s, 90s.
I think
so
she was in
probably,
her 60s.
So she was probably 20 around then. So yeah, she's probably.
Yeah. But no one knows how old she actually is. I don't even think Amanda Lepore knows how old she is.
I think she does.
She probably does. But she doesn't let it slip. She's ageless.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, she's 32.
She's great.
Yeah.
I love her.
Love Amanda Lepore.
I would love to see her in person sometime. I think that would be thrilling. Are you doing an impression of me or Amanda Lepore?
Amanda Lepore. I don't know. I can't do her voice.
Yeah, she does have a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
But we went all over the place today, didn't we?
We did. I don't even know what we're going to call this episode.
Nope. But we didn't talk about anything of what I originally thought we were going to.
Did you remember what it was now?
No.
Okay.
But I know it. I have it in my head, but I can't say it, if that makes any sense. Like, I know what I wanted to talk about. It was a topic, but I can't think of how I wanted to word it.
Let's do word association. So, gay. Fat.
Me?
Me?
You.
Me.
That's like an improv game.
Is
called
it?
Caveman, where you just say one word and then the next person says it.
Should we close out this episode by doing that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
are
done
with
DL
men
in
this
town.
So
we
are
gonna
paint
many
of
them,
yes,
with
our
shit.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about, or should we wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up in more ways than one.
Wear a condom, folks. That's going to do it for this episode of Small Town Big Gays. You can follow us on social media at STBG Pod, Instagram, TikTok, since that was a whole blessed 12 hours of not having TikTok anymore.
Yeah.
Shocker. It was all a collusion and a scam.
Collusion.
Intro and outro is 1 a.m. by TYB. Check out his music. Links are in the episode description. Follow us on social media, also in the episode description. Ask advice from Chloe Wold. We haven't had a Dear Chloe in a while, so if you need advice from the #1 therapist in this
world.
Yep. Email us, smalltownbiggays@gmail.com, or DM us on social media and ask Chloe Wold for advice. And, yeah.
Yeah. Get guns, stay safe.
Get guns, stay safe.
Shoot trees.
Yes. No.
No, don't shoot trees.
Don't shoot the trees. Shoot
Pop cans.
pop cans with a BB gun.
Yeah.
Or with a real gun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
over and over again.